We're going back-to-back. Blue Devils, Metcalf. Duke's on the board again, 30
Shocker.
and 30. Yeah, shocker. They have a couple prospects. What a shocker. But on all serious, 30 and 30, we're doing 30 draft prospects in 30 days until college basketball is back today. Duke Blue Devil freshman that's also from overseas, foreign relations, we're keeping up with it. Dame Sarr, listed at 6'8", 190, viewed by many as a potential lottery guy that really could make some noise this year. He's been at Nike Hoop Summit. He's been at every event if possible. He was with FC Barcelona last year. 6'8", 190. I'm sorry, I'm too excited for this one. But Metcalf, what gets you hyped about Dame Sarr? Because a lot of people are pumped up about it. So tell the fans why you need to be keeping a serious look on Dame Sarr.
And you read the measurements. Terrific. Just the physical tools alone are like, yeah, all right, pro, cool. He's got pro measurements right off the bat and pro tools, and he's so raw. And just the potential with him is through the roof. I know everyone's like, oh, potential. Give me something solid. But I think when you have someone this raw, still this new to basketball, this moldable, this coachable, pretty much any outcome I think is kind of understandable. I am really excited about what his season and career could look like, because you could honestly tell me anything and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Because I think his work ethic is through the roof. I think the intangibles with this kid are incredibly impressive. We got exposed to it a good amount at Hoop Summit, and everything was like, like this dude is a real deal. Like the passion, the desire, the coachability, the eagerness to learn and improve, and play within the team concept and do the right thing on every possession was so impressive. So shot still needs a lot of work. Ball handling and making consistency still need a lot of work. The defense rocks. And it's a lot of uncertainty on offense, but given who he is as a person, everything I've heard about him as a person, it's kind of tough to not be really optimistic about what his development in the next couple of years could look like.
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, look, he's still thin, but he's still extremely young. He's 19 right now. He'll be turning 20 like a couple weeks before the NBA draft this year. Last year he was getting some late steam of like, oh, there might be a chance Sarr is going to be a party crasher for last year's draft class. Then strategically, and my opinion, but very smartly, all of a sudden was like, oh, I'll open the floodgates for maybe I'll just go to college basketball next year. And then Duke I think we had heard like 15 different teams were like, oh, they're going to get Sarr. They're going to get Sarr.
I think Illinois was very high on that list. And
it was a new team each week. And then all of a sudden it was like, uh-oh, here comes Duke. And it was like, okay, Duke pulled it out. But there's a lot of fun tools. Here's my thing with Sarr, and this is just me. I'm struggling to buy in right now, and it's not because of the talent. It's because of the preseason hype, because I think this is going to be one that really is going to look good defensively. I think he's going to help Duke out in a big way on the perimeter with his defense and the intangibles. He's skinny, but, man, he is lengthy. Yeah. Wingspan, folks. I think just the offensive game is going to take a little bit of time, and that's fine. That's okay. That's just me. I'm saying – it might be a 3-and-D guy early as the tools start falling into place, as the confidence starts unloading. So do you think that's correct? Like, is he a 3-and-D that's like, hey, there's a lot more here to unlock, but it just might take a little bit of time to season on the grill, if you know what I mean?
Yes. I weirdly enough like him more pivoting towards like a point guard.
Good.
Like I'm a little more skeptical.
Help you.
I'm a little more skeptical on the shot. So like if you're just reverting him to like a 3-and-D role, I think it could be a little tricky, because I'm not sure he's ever going to be a lights out shooter. I'm optimistic in the foundation of the shot, but there are a lot of minor things in his mechanics that he needs to continue to correct, and that's going to take some time. And if you're only allowing him to spot up in the corner, I think you're getting rid of a lot of the real intrigue with his playmaking, with his rim pressure, with his ball handling and on-ball creation. And you're just kind of throwing that out the window. So is he ever going to be a true point guard? Maybe not, but like a forward wing creator, secondary guy that you can like put in motion, run off actions, get the ball early and push in transition, take advantage of defenses still trying to get set. That's the kind of situation that I really am optimistic and hopeful that he can continue to grow in. I think the feasibility of that we're going to learn really quickly based on what kind of leash he gets at Duke. And if he's really restricted early, it's going to be like, oh, he's not ready. And I think that could be really telling. But if they experiment a little bit with lineups and allow him to explore some of that space early on, I think it could pay massive dividends come March, because now you have a 6'8" guy running point, initiating the offense, setting up guys like Boozer and Hemenia and Isaiah Evans and Wilkins and, all of their awesome talent. And then also being able to play a two-man game with those guys and be your point of attack defender at 6'8" with that speed, with that length, with that tenacity. And I think that could open up a whole lot of really fun doors. But I think we're going to kind of know how realistic that is pretty early.
It's an exciting one because I feel like for me it's still a little bit of unknown. Like there's a lot of flashes and a number of aspects with his game, but we're trying to figure out like, well, what's the next one that he's gonna take that leap in? What is he gonna hang his hat on? I think Duke's role, the situation we'll figure that out pretty quick. If we're looking at last year's stats, you're not going to be overwhelmed. It's 27 games. He barely played. He played 8.5 minutes a game, 3.5 points. This is per Real GM, 1.1 rebounds, almost 0.6 assists. But again, minutes, folks. But 53-44. I love Real GM. They always space it out. 45 splits. They always make you basically have to track the matrix to find everything. So you're not going to be doing any backflips. And that's why I think it's still uncertain. But he was so young. It's also FC Barcelona. They have very talented teams. So people are going to find out quick. But there's been buzz about Dame coming into the season. People are very intrigued. They have a great roster where I think they don't have to lean on him or make him be uncomfortable early. Like, they can be smart. Any lasting thoughts with Dame Sarr?
Kind of like how we talked about Hemenia. I think this is a guy that we're going to have to be patient with because he is so raw, and there are probably going to be some offensive games, a lot of offensive games where it's like, oh, what's that? But the defense, if he really buys in on that end, I think that's his immediate route to getting a lot of minutes, making a huge impact on this team, which can then also spark a lot of transition stuff for him. And when he's in the open court at that size with that athleticism, really, really tough to stop. So intrigued, big time wild card. I hope it all works and he's a one and done guy, because it's going to really elevate the kind of middle of the first round in this draft. But again, if he is like, man, not quite there, need another year, and goes back as a sophomore, it's like, oh boy, now we're getting into some scary territory for what he could look like in a college setting.
Time is going to be the only thing that's like holding him back, because I agree with you. We never, ever at No Ceilings are being like, hey, he might not be a one and done. That doesn't mean we don't think they're good. We just might, hey, people take that next step or physically ready at different times. And if he's a one and done, it's because everything's coming together and, oh my gosh, this is fun. And this draft class just got even more exciting. And maybe looks fantastic and we're talking about him as a top 10 guy. If he's a 2-year college player, that means he's going to have an offseason of adding probably 10 to 15 on and be a problem next year with a full offseason. So there's a fun outcome both ways. And that's why I think this is going to be exciting. But all right, another 30-30 down. We're marching on, Metcalf. We're almost light at the end of the tunnel. Countdown is on until the return of college basketball. Thank you guys, as always, for checking out the videos. No Ceilings NBA YouTube channel every day. We're going to have a new prospect breaking down before the season starts. Get you caught up for draft season. Keep an eye out for some exciting announcements in the near future. Like, subscribe, share it, whatever you guys want to do. We love you guys. Thank you for all the support. We'll see you next time.